Selamat datang ke ASM Podcast yang dibawakan khas oleh Akademi Sains Malaysia. Siri podcast ini merupakan platform perkongsian topik-topik berkaitan sains, teknologi, inovasi dan ekonomi STIE secara santai dan mudah difahami. Setiap episod akan menampilkan jaringan pakar ASM yang akan berkongsi pengalaman dan pendapat mereka tentang STIE seiring dengan etos ASM. Budayakan sains, raikan teknologi, cetuskan inovasi.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera and good morning everyone. Welcome to another series of ASM Podcast for all the new viewers and listeners. ASM Podcast is a platform to discuss and also share any topic related to science. And we bring with you today is also one topic very related to science. Today our podcast received a very special guest all the way from Sarawak as well as Johor. So get ready to get to know the 2024 National Science Challenge Winners Journey. To our all podcast viewers, National Science Challenge 2024, for your information, has been conducted from June until the grand final in September. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our special guest today. So we have with us today in the studio the winners of the National Science Challenge 2024. So we have from the winner of our competition from SM Swasta Science Joseph. So we have here today Perusia, I believe, Perusia, and then Benedict, and also Chua Pohi. I'm sorry. And also the winner of the best speaker from Johor, I believe. Chua Yeja. Yes. And also the top performer student from preliminary levels from SMK Bintulu, Jo and Lim Yi Jun. All right. And also not to forget the pillar behind the success of this winner, especially for SM Swasta St. Joseph, Madam Miss Kong Ying Ying. All right. Welcome to our podcast today. So also a brief summary for your information. All of these students have just came back from Japan. Because after they won this competition, they won a week study trip to Tokyo. Am I right?
Yes.
It's actually under a Japan Sakura Science High School program, where they were joined by 5 other countries. I believe it's Argentina, Laos, Papua New Guinea, Bangladesh, and India.
Yes.
Right. And also you guys also have visited 2 universities, right?
Yeah.
University of Tokyo and Tsukuba. Okay, please correct me if I pronounce it wrong. And also you visited Japan Agency of Marine Earth and Science and Technology.
Yes.
And also Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Correct?
Yes.
And also you also visited the National Museum of Emerging Science and Innovation. So did you enjoy your time in Japan?
Definitely.
Yes. Of course.
Okay, before we go to more questions, I've been to Japan before. I think the first thing that got my attention is actually the toilet. Yeah. It's like I went to the toilet, I pressed every button because I want to know what happened. Right? Did you guys do the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. For the so my question is, what were your expectations? But before that, I want to know: have you been to Japan before, all of you?
No.
So this will be great. So you've been.
Yeah, I've been to
Okay, that would be your second experience, lah. All right, that's wonderful. So what were your expectations? I will ask the first timer first. Okay. What were your expectations before going to Japan, and did the experience meet those expectations?
So before going to Japan, I heard many things about Japan. Like it's so clean, it's so efficient, especially the toilets.
Yeah.
Actually, when I went there, it definitely met my expectations and even went way beyond that. So I expected Japan to be a place full of cutting edge technology and also like a lot of innovation. Everything is high tech. But when I went there, what struck me the most was actually it has a balance between traditional culture as well.
Yes.
Like there were so many historical temples and shrines, and there was so many lush greenery, so many trees everywhere. Like it's technology and greenery in one city. Like, it's such an amazing place, and I think it's a place I wish to visit again.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, before going to Japan, I heard many things like the streets are really clean, the people are really polite, and then it's a really high-tech city, and all three of those expectations were met, even more. But as for the first point, yes, the streets are really clean, but we also felt the bad side of it is there's no rubbish bin anywhere. So our backpacks were just our rubbish bins. Put it into our bags. So yeah, that was a fun experience actually for us. And then for the polite, I really felt the hospitality of the Japanese people. Like on the aircraft, on the airline, the people were really, really, really nice. I tried to order something, but I couldn't. There were some problems, but they felt bad, so they gave me some freebies also. Even though I didn't pay anything, I was so shocked by it. Yeah, and then for high tech, we went to Mirakan, and then we experienced a lot of like different exhibits, really high tech exhibits filled with robots.
Wonderful. When you talk about the clean part, I know that Japan is clean. So when I was there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna look for the rubbish. Is there any? To prove the point. So that's what I was doing there, because I already know they are like really clean. So is there any to prove the point? So that's just my first time experience, I think. So how about you, Benedict?
So before going to Japan, I also asked around my friends, those that went to Japan before, and all I heard is that they are very punctual first.
Yeah.
They're also very polite and clean. So for punctuality, I experienced it while crossing the railway. So the time period between each train is so short that it's not enough for me to go the railway. Like halfway through the door is going to close, ding, 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 to run through the railway. And for the people there are very, very polite. Like for each small mistake, like bumping into somebody, will say "sumimasen," which is "excuse me" in Japanese. And in the city, it's really, really high tech and very systematic. Like every street you go there, you can take picture. It's like beautiful city. Yeah.
Okay, how about you?
For me, I think, of course, I've heard of the advanced technology in Japan. Their bullet train, how advanced they are in researching science and innovation. And then I've also heard of how polite they are and the way how they respect people. And one thing that I think is the most unique about Japan is the way they conserve and the way that they engage with their traditional culture. And it might sound contradict the way that you say traditional and a modern city. But what surprised me is that they have combined these 2 points really well in the city. We can see that how they engage in still being really polite, the culture of how they bow, even the degrees how they have to bow, and how they're still drinking tea every day, like it's a culture, and also in different aspects. And aside from that, it's also a really modern city. We can see very tall buildings, very advanced technology, like Parrish has said, in Niraikan. I think the way that they exhibit their science museum is just not the usual thing that we will see in Malaysia. It's much more interactive, and I think that's where our direction that we should learn from, to make it more interactive so that it can be exposed to more people, so more people will be attracted to learn and advance more in science and technology in Malaysia.
Wonderful.
So yeah, it's definitely beyond expectation.
Wonderful. How about you? Was it your second time or?
Yeah, it's my second time, but like the last time I went to Japan, I was only 11 years old.
Okay.
So I don't really have a lot of memories about it because I didn't really own a phone and I couldn't take any pictures. Yeah.
Now you have more content.
Yeah.
The second visit.
Yeah. So this time I was like, I need to seize this opportunity and take a lot of pictures, and we did. We took like thousands of pictures.
Did you have any expectation before you go for the second time?
Okay, so my expectations. I actually watch a lot of reels on YouTube and also Instagram, and there was a lot of videos about Japan, and I was expecting it to be very clean and very high tech, and the people should be very polite and everything like that, like they all said. And I think when I went there, it just exceeded my expectations. Yeah, but also, the bad side was that before I went to Japan, I heard that they say there was a lot of vegetarian food in Japan because I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
So I went there with a whole luggage full of food. But when I went there, they were very considerate about my lifestyle, my food lifestyle, and I didn't really need any of those food, so it's still in my luggage right now.
Yeah, they definitely like very particular about that, because I think I had the same experience. I went there for a conference, so of course I only eat like halal food. So they really cater that. They really they pay a lot of attention into that. So how about Miss Kong? Was it like your first experience, or you had been before?
Yeah, it's my first experience to Japan actually, so I am actually excited like them.
Yeah.
As a teacher, as they come. Because so what I did actually beforehand is I checked with my friends who actually visited Japan recently as well. So I gave them a call and then checked with them how is it like, because I want to understand that place better. And then I check on social media, like what are the souvenirs, the food, and etc. Because I'm expecting my student to ask me, teacher, what to buy here, which is true enough. And then just to tell them, okay, if you need to buy, you have to buy. So I check a lot on all the roadmap as well, because I actually did not know that we are really well. I mean, they are really planned. They plan very well and bringing us everywhere by bus. I thought I might have to bring them through trains or etc. So I actually studied quite a lot, and where are they? Where are we staying, and etc.
Actually, I was about to ask the question, but you already answered that, because we were wondering what would be your thought and activity plan for the student, but you were surprised it's all planned out for you, right? So my second question about the educational visit and also activities, because you were there packed with all of these educational activities, right? So can each of you share what is the most interesting STEM knowledge that you learned? We start from you.
Okay, so the first thing that comes to my mind is we went to Tepia, which is a science museum, and the most fascinating thing that I learned there was they gave us 4 different exhibitions, and one of the most that really made me remember was that they showed us a video of how they built the Tokyo Tower.
Wow.
It was really inspiring, because I think I still remember it to this day, because they actually they faced a lot of obstacles and they just overcame it together as a team. And I think that's really something that's worth for us to learn from. So it's about teamwork, and just teamwork makes dream work. Teamwork makes dream work. And so like for example, from NSC, my teammate and I, if we learn from them better, we would work together well, and maybe we could get better results.
So how about you? You have mentioned it before also, how interesting it was, the museum, right?
Yes. Oh, okay. A very interesting thing is they are showcasing aging. There's a park of aging. It's a theme there in the Miraikan. So aging is an issue in Japan, that their population are aging. So the way that they have illustrated the STEM aspect of aging, and they have illustrated where each part of your body, like how your hearing will slowly deteriorate, how your eyes, your vision might not be as clear as before, and why, and also each part of the body. And aside from that, I think I must say this, I think my favorite part of the STEM knowledge is actually at the senior high school. We had a lecture with Professor Takeuchi Soji. So I think in the interview previously with Mr. Matthew, I have mentioned this a lot, because I think his lecture is really wonderful and inspiring. I have heard I have his lecture was about biohybrid robots. I think it's a pretty new field in how we can learn that how human tissue can actually be integrated in robots, like cold robots and human tissue. It sounds like two different things, but it's just amazing in how it could work. And the way that he has showcased a lot of advanced things that we can learn aside from human tissue. It's also like nerve tissue and other parts of the human body. And I think the way that he illustrated a future where robot could be more and more human-like is just really, really interesting, but there's also some ethical concerns, and I think he has addressed our questions very well. Yeah.
So did you guys ask many questions during the talk?
I think yes. I think the Malaysian team was the one who asked the most questions compared to the Argentina and the other teams. So over there we were like asking a lot of questions, but we were really proud. The Malaysian team were really proud. Our supervisor were really proud because after almost all the Malaysian asked question, I think the prof was really, really satisfied with the question. And I have asked about the ethical concerns. He said that it's really unusual for high schoolers to achieve this kind of sophistication of the question. And so yeah, I think we asked a lot of questions and he addressed it very well. And it's also a very good opportunity to showcase how well we research and how well we respect his lecture.
Exhibition where we had experience traveling to Fiji, on an island on the Pacific Ocean, and it was really a very realistic and wonderful experience. When they were showcasing how global warming has affected the community in Fiji, there were tornadoes, storm, thunder. We can all feel it through the wind, the vibration, and even some mist during the exhibition, and we also learned about the culture of the people there and how they prioritize community life instead of individual life, which is a very good idea, and we should integrate it in Malaysia as well, I think.
For me, I think I actually learned more about STEM concepts at one of the science research centers called Jamstack. So there, I think one of the things that attracted me the most was they explained something called the whale fall ecosystem. So it's when a whale dies and then it just falls to the bottom of the seafloor, and then other organisms will eat it and then consume its remains. And then one of the most gruesome fact was the zombie worms. After all the fish has eaten the meat and then the microorganisms have decomposed the meat, what left is the bone. So these zombie worms will eat the bones as well. So I think that this ecosystem was really interesting to me and intriguing to me. And then at Jamstack, we also learned about the concept of microplastics. We learned the classification of microplastics, and then Jamstack's effort in basically eradicating or solving the problem of microplastics through AI and their technologies.
So I would like to talk about Mirai Khan, which is the future of the Museum of the Future.
Okay.
It's actually quite a very eye-opening experience because we get to see so many futuristic ideas and exhibits and also innovations. So there were like 4 different new parts, and what I liked most about that was the Hello Robot section. So yeah, it was really cute, the exhibitions, the robots, everything. So like they integrated artificial intelligence and made it more human-like. So now the robots, they can show their emotions, have gestures. Like when you wave to it, it will wave back to you. So I think that's something like we can integrate in our daily life. Like what you just said just now, make robots more human-like. Like maybe they'll have emotions and sorts, everything. And also another thing I like about that place is it integrates digitalization and also nature. There was an exhibition which talked about digital nature, but it actually integrated mechanical animals like the butterfly. They were like in robotic styles, in actually a place, biodiversity place with plants and also many types of trees. I think that's a way we can go in the future. Maybe it's something we should explore. And not only that, I'm also intrigued by the different exhibitions we saw in the University of Tsukuba. I think we actually learned a lot of things from there, like the supercomputers. Like in Malaysia, I don't think we get to see supercomputers either, right? But in the university, we actually went into the room, we saw the entire thing. We had the chance to see Cygnus. One of the biggest supercomputer in Tokyo, but sadly it will be closed down next March because they are planning to like develop bigger ones. So it's interesting to see how the cooling system works, how they maintain the place, and how much terabytes or even more that it can support to like support the entire system. And also after that, in the University of Tsukuba, they also talk about cybernetics, where they combine like cyber things, biology, and also mechanical engineering to create prosthetic limbs for patients. Like, I think this is a very good field because they're using science and technology by transmitting the signals from the brain to the different limbs of the phantom limb where the leg has been amputated. This will be very helpful for the people who wants to improve their lifestyle, such as like athletes. They can use this to represent the country in Paralympics or many more. I think this is a field which we can further explore.
You guys gained such a very valuable experience that you never experienced in Malaysia before. So I think this is really amazing to hear. It means that the trip to Japan has really inspired you a lot, and also to change the future of Malaysia, because you are the future talents of science, STIE. So I want to, that is from the student. Also, I want to hear the perspective from the teacher. What do you think the STEM side in Japan that you think you don't experience in Malaysia?
Of course, I mean, most of the science museum, the places we visited are mentioned by them. The one that actually I remember the most is actually in the high school. The high school that we visited, the students are, they are separated into groups in different classrooms. They are having class with the Japanese students. So I have a chance to actually to get into one of the class teaching chemistry, actually consisting of Papua New Guinea students. So I'm a chemistry teacher, so I enter and have a look. The things that surprising me is, you see, Japan is as we said, a very high technology place, right? But the way of teaching is actually traditional method. Very traditional. That I thought they will have all these, screens and etc. But in fact, when they're in class, the teachers are teaching using chalk and blackboard that time. The very old style. I think in Malaysia now we are all changing into whiteboard marker. So I was kind of impressed, and the way the teachers are teaching. They do not speak a lot. They don't say a lot. They just give you some key points. The drawings are on the board, and the students start conducting experiments. Very systematic and very obedient. And teachers do not have to spend 5 to 10 minutes to get them to settle down. They are all there. Even when I enter another class teaching English, the English teacher is they are not doing grammatical exercises like what we normally do. The teachers are showing videos and then talking about teaching them a term related to biology. So I find very interesting because the teachers actually they do more. I don't, not to say in Malaysia not doing more, but the method of teaching is very different.
Do you think, like, as a teacher, you have been as a teacher for how long?
8 years.
8 years. So do you think is it possible to implement the method that they are implementing in Japan and Malaysia? Do you think, like, is it possible to integrate that in Malaysia?
I think, it is possible, but it depends on the syllabus that we have. Because in this high school, when I asked the teachers and the principal in the school, they said they actually have their own syllabus. That's why they are special. It's a high school. It's a girls' school actually.
So each school will have their own syllabus.
Only this particular high school, this girls' school, and then they are like starting from elementary, which is our primary school, and then goes up to high school, junior high school, and then university. Only female in the school.
Oh, okay.
In the university. Yeah, it is a very special experience of mine as a teacher. As an educator.
Wonderful. Okay. Also, you guys visited the school. How many schools that you went there?
We went to one high school and two universities.
Two universities. So when you went to their school, high school, what would be the first thing that you think really different from Malaysia? How about I ask you?
For me, I think it's the way that, so for me, I went to a maths class. That class was about quadratic formulas at maths in Malaysia. So a very interesting thing on how they convey is that they have applied or they have exposed us to how they can use their traditional culture to teach at maths. The teacher gave us an origami paper, and we learned at maths and through origami, in which we on the paper we will first point a point, say it's point Q, and then on the sides of the paper down there you will point much more points, a lot of point P. So what we would do is that we will flip the paper of the point P, all of the point P, to overlap it with point Q. So we do it for many times, and then we will get a parabolic curve in which we usually see it on the graph. So it's just very interactive and very easier for us to understand the concept. And then, although that the classes were in Japanese, I think that I can relate it with the syllabus I learned in my school in Malaysia as well. So it's overall also the same concept. But the way that they teach it using origami is just very different and unique. And as I've mentioned, how they conserve their traditional culture and still applying it into their daily life, even their educational system, is something that we can look for and also improve our education system for the youngsters nowadays to appreciate more on our traditional culture as well.
So that's really interesting to know.
I think it's the difference when you actually immerse in,
because
in the school, in the environment,
them,
and visiting as a visitor or tourist.
Yeah, that's wonderful. As a science educator, did you find any interesting STEM-related knowledge that you find interesting?
Of course, the high school inspired me a lot, of course. And then in the science museum, the Mirai, that is another place that I really, I am kind of amazed with, because I actually glanced through most of them. The part of aging, as what Ija mentioned just now, that is the place that I stayed there for quite some time. Because I have never thought of there is, we can actually expose, we can actually exhibit something like part of aging for you to move. And then I actually tried on that as well, just to check, okay, what is my hearing age now? What is my eyesight age now? And then, of course, the robotic item itself and etc. in the museum is inspiring. Plus, when I look at it, around you, it's not just high school students. There are also elementary kids who are coming to the museum. They understand. I saw very cute kids there. They come into they are all with yellow hats and they're coming in. So that means the museum is not only for high school. It's for every age, even teacher. At my age, when I enter, I feel surprised also. I would want to try everything.
I would like to ask, how has this study trip influenced your personal interest and also career inspiration? Are there any new goals or ideas that you have developed as a result from this experience? I think I would like to hear this from all of you, because I'm really excited to know what you want to be in the future. So I start from you.
Okay, so for me, I actually aspire to become a psychiatrist.
Okay.
So that means I'm very interested in biology and also about mental health and so on. And I think during this trip, we went to a lot of different museums, science museums, and a lot of them, they combine technology with biology, which was very fascinating for me to look at, because it's my first time seeing those kinds of things. So I think if I really become a psychiatrist, I would like to try to learn from them and apply those maybe in my career too. And try to create new things on my own too.
Wonderful. How about you?
So for me, I think even during classes in school, I am really interested in chemistry and also biology. So I think biochemistry would be my thing. And what we have learned throughout the trip, and also lecture from the professor, I think it makes me more certain that it is the field that I want to go further in. And what that I was actually inspired in how I can also learn about or integrate technology in the field that I'm interested in. What will biochemistry and technology together be like? So maybe in the future, I would be learning how combining these two, maybe being someone like Professor Takeuchi Soji as well.
I think I would like to invest myself in the sustainability part, and maybe I can create some structures that are green for a green building, or even some machines that can help to tackle global issues such as microplastic pollution, so that I can save the aquatic life as well.
And even now, always wanted to become a researcher in biochemistry side. So, but as a kid, saying this to my parents say, "Oh, this is not a very good career option. You become like you won't have a job in the future," things like that. But through this study trip, it truly opened my eye that there is a possibility, and I can become a researcher in these things. Like the talk at Ochanomizu Senior High School, the professor said that he was helped by graduate students in his research, and then he also showed some of the projects by his graduate students. And then I think that this is something I'm passionate about, and this is something I want to do. So I want to be like the graduate students there. And yeah, I think the most in that talk, what attracted me the most was the human skin. And then I remember the professor said, I told my graduate student to make the human skin more kawaii.
Kawaii.
So yeah, and then he made this in the petri dish, something in the petri dish. So I think like this is something I'm passionate about, and I definitely want to do this in the future.
It definitely further strengthened my passion for STEM. Like now after this, I'm very certain that I'll definitely pursue a career in STEM in the future. So as I mentioned just now, I'm actually particularly interested in the field of medicine. Yeah, which means I'm interested in biology and also chemistry. But after this trip, what really opened my eyes is that actually I can integrate technology like artificial intelligence into this field. Like in Malaysia, we often see like doctors giving prescriptions, and it's a very tiring job. So I'm thinking like, what if we can make these doctors' jobs more efficient, easier, by actually integrating technology such as artificial intelligence in helping us to like increase the lifespan or maybe improve all our life qualities. And okay, so in medicine, what I'm particularly interested in is actually in hematology. I like to leukemia, all those. It's a very big disease in the world, and I think we need to find a cure to it, like cancer, all those stuff. So maybe we can use artificial intelligence to help us in our research. Maybe develop even new products and also drugs which can actually help us to solve the issue and also the global health issue. And not only that, I also think that after this study trip, what it taught me about is that anything is possible. We should not confine ourselves to just one field. We can always explore more. Because science is everything. It's everything around our lives.
Yeah, I agree, because I think science, when we talk science and when we talk about to solve a solution in science, it always requires a combination of fields. So when you talk, I see that you understand that thing. I mean, if you want to, let's say in medicine, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in medicine. So artificial intelligence can go in, and then physics can go in, chemistry can go in. So it's always like multidisciplinary in our solving issues. So I think I'm very happy to see your level of understanding toward this, which is incredible at such a very young age, and you have like a very clear vision of what you want to do. And also this trip has added more, it's like it's opened more clearer path for what you want to do in the future. So that's really wonderful. It's a huge impact this trip has gave to you. So my second question about the cultural impact, because I did hear that you said how polite the Japanese are. So after like experiencing this firsthand, how do you think this experience will impact your interaction with people from diverse background in Malaysia? How about you?
So actually, after the Japan trip, we actually learned to learn some of the Japanese culture, which I think we could bring back to Malaysia, such as each time after you get up from a chair, you push back.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also that I think that we should also like whenever we have like accidentally make some mistakes, we also have say sorry, which is quite I think it's quite polite that we Malaysians should have learned, and also the punctuality, like being late is like stealing other people's time, which I think is not very polite as well. Yeah, and in fact, I think we should also combine technology with culture, and since Japan has done it so well, I think we should also combine the culture and technology together. Like it's not like a zero-sum game where technology comes in, culture has to go, and when cultures come in, technology has to go. So we can combine it together, and I think we could improve on that in Malaysia as well.
How about you?
So in Japan, like what he said, the people are very polite and they are so humble and respectful to other people. So whenever we ask them for help, like along the streets, if you don't know the location, you can just you say the name of the shop, even though they don't really understand because there is some language barrier.
Yeah.
They'll really try their best to help you. Like me and Isia, we went shopping in the shopping mall and we couldn't find the Uniqlo store.
So we were just like,
Okay.
sumimasen, Uniqlo.
And then, although she was confused at first, she actually brought us to the map and like pointed the direction to us. I think that's a very good value to learn. And also besides that, the people there are also very disciplined. They keep the place very clean. Like even though there are no rubbish bins, they'll still sort out all of their rubbish properly, like recyclable items and also combustible items. I think the way that they have this cleanliness consciousnness in their mind and also the awareness on preserving the environment is actually a very crucial element that we Malaysians should have in our lives. Like when in Malaysia, we always say we should practice 3R: recycle, reduce, reuse. But when it comes to practicing, I don't think all of us practice it, right? But in Japan, when they say they practice 3R, they really practice 3R. And that is why the environment is so clean. And I think punctuality is another thing, like he said. They are very on time.
Yeah.
Everything has to be done on the dot. If they say start at 7:45, we have to be there by 7:45. So during some times we were a bit late, and that's why we caused a bit of delay. I think so that is something we Malaysians should practice: punctuality, discipline, awareness of cleanliness, and also politeness and humbleness.
In Malaysia, do you think we have to adopt this attribute to be polite, respectful, and we will achieve this advancement in technology? Do you agree with that?
Yeah,
Actually,
I think it's
yeah.
actually correct to actually learn from their culture. But at the same time, it's important to still preserve our own identity as well.
Yeah.
We should learn, yes, they are respectful, yes, they are punctual, and these are all the common moral value that us human beings, not only Japanese, not only Malaysians, everyone should have. So on how we learn that they could be punctual, we will learn like that because we know that most of the time when Malaysia say it's 8 o'clock, we turn out at 8:05 or like we turn out at 8:10. So I think every small detail actually matters, and every small details, for example, even a conference, even like a event, like a majlis in different places. I think these are the small details that we need to pay attention to. It might not be as obvious that it might actually cause a life-changing impact, but if you practice it day by day, you will actually notice how different, how can you transform into a different person, and how the way people perceive you will be also different, much more better as well.
What was the weirdest thing that you see in Japan?
Culture shock, I guess you can call it culture shock. It's just that they sleep really early.
Oh, yeah.
They end their shifts really early. So we after finishing our dinner at our place of stay, we go there. We have the first day we had like 40 minutes before everything closed down and we are locked in the mall. So I think also because the sun sets there around 5. By 6 it will be pitch black. So I think the difference in life, their lifestyle is what shocked me the most. They just sleep too early.
Okay.
Also, one more thing. Actually, in the schools and maybe in institutes, they don't wear shoes. They
Oh.
wear slippers.
Okay.
That's what I find weird. I think the main point is to actually like make sure the place is clean. So like we had to carry slippers with
Yeah.
us. It was kind of funny, but I think that's okay.
Okay.
Weird, but it's
Not to
fine.
say one more thing is not to say weird, but it's different in Malaysia. Their students
yeah,
are
it's just
allowed to
different.
they're allowed to
Dye
make
their
up,
hair,
dye their hair, and just dress very like fashionable and casual.
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
school.
yeah.
Yeah, and they can bring phones to school. It just got me wonder. Does that because the reason why are we not allowing this is mostly because of the discipline issue. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, if Japanese could do this, will it be possible one day for us to implement this in Malaysia as well? Maybe not on the physical appearance. Maybe we can start on the phones, gadgets. Because since we're transforming into a digital era, like the NSC theme.
You guys are really a great mind of the future, I would say. So it's been really an honored experience to interview you guys today. And I believe this Japan trip has really given an impact for you to make a change in the future. But I think will be the last one. It's for our future participant of NSC. So I would like to hear what would be your advice to the next participant. We start from SM, the winners of this year. What would be your advice?
So our advice for like the future generation and future participants of NSC is to always continue learning, never stop learning. Think outside the box, go beyond your syllabus, and also always remain open to new ideas around the world. Like the world is not just confined to the books. You need to observe everything around you because everything can turn into a problem and every problem comes with a solution. So you should always keep on brainstorming and also thinking of different new ideas, research more, how to solve problems, tackle global crises. I think that's one of the key elements in science and also communication.
Do you have anything to add?
Too serious. Live, laugh, love, have fun.
Okay, how about you? I mean, as a top performer, would you have any advice for the future winners?
Okay, so my advice would be on the NSC competition. Even though the chances are really low because there's like thousands of participants, but I think instead of focusing on the destination, we should focus on the journey.
Yeah.
Because along the journey, I think I learned a lot of science knowledge that are off our textbooks and just a lot of life skills too. Because like, for example, for the STEM camp, we were required to live in a dorm room for a week. And I think from that, I learned a lot of like survival and to like living skills and the life skills that we will be needing in our future.
Wonderful. How about you? Maybe you can, I think your advice would be the best on the communication part. I think you're really a good speaker.
Okay, thank you. I think don't be afraid. Just just speak. Everyone makes mistakes. It could be whatever you say could be wrong, could be right, could be maybe just a key point that leads you to the success or victory. So don't be afraid, just speak, just start and be confident.
Okay, I would like to say thank you for your time and your insight, and also thank you also for our viewers for joining us today. We are honored to have you and listen to their success stories as well. And I believe National Science Challenge platform has put a high bar about the quality of the future STIE talent in Malaysia. To all viewers also, don't forget to watch this podcast on ASM YouTube and Spotify channels. And also you can find more information about National Science Challenge at www.nsc.my and also NSC social media.